Hello and welcome to another one of our videos. This is our 2019 BMW M140i Shadow Edition. This is the 3-door with the sports automatic transmission with the paddle shift and the ZF gearbox. The car has covered just over 20,000, I think it's 800 miles. Full service history. It's due to go in to have its servicing and checks. Should it need anything, we'll check in the car in just a moment. But this car's only just come in. Now this car has a really nice spec on it, and we've just finished the trims in the front of the bumper in black gloss. We just had this done. They come with the black gloss grills, and the headlights on the Shadow Edition have got the black trim inside. You've got the nice LED lights there. Now it also has the 719 black gloss alloy wheels. This car's recently had fitted some Michelin Pilot 4 tyres all round. They've not had a lot of use. I think they're on about 7 or 8 mil. Now the previous owner has also fitted these wing mirrors like the M cars that have the little tail bit on the inside there. All finished in black gloss as well. The whole car's been detailed and machine polished. The front bumper we've just had repainted. There were some chips along the bottom and a tiny little scuff on there, so we just decided to have it redone. The colour is perfect. We come up onto the bonnet. There are a couple of little chips. A lot of these M140s, Golf Rs, these fast sort of hot hatches, they do tend to get a few little chips on the front of the bonnet. You can just catch them as we run the camera around the front there. But all up the top here is all clear. There's nothing up here. It's really common to have a few down at the front, like I say, but that's when you come in really close. If you look at it from just, a couple of feet back, you can't see anything. We're just trying to be really transparent with the video. Now the car's been rotary polished and then polished with an orbiting mop. The guys do a really good job, as you can see from the shine on the car. We take a lot more time on these cars because we're a much smaller dealer to make sure they're as nice as they can be. If you had to pay for a two-stage machine polish and valet on one of these cars, you probably pay around about £500, but it's all done as part of the service that we give with the cars that we sell. Come up round the back, just look around the filler cap. There's no scratches around here. Like I say, it's just a couple of small little chips on the front, which is general wear and tear. There's no marks on the roof, as you can see. There's just a bit of dust there. Let's just come back out. It's amazing how the light changes the colour on this car. The Valencia orange that they did before this was a lot paler, whereas the sunset orange, it's almost like it's got a flick of black in it, which, hence its name Shadow Edition, really suits the car. I really do believe this is the best colour for an M140. And the oyster interior, okay, some people like black, but I think that the oyster interior with this colour goes really well. It lifts the interior, otherwise it's very dark inside, and I know some of you are going to prefer a black interior because that's what you like, but I just think it's more like an M car. Most M cars have light interiors when they're in these really vibrant colours. The wheels, by the way, are all in beautiful condition. We've already seen the front one on this side. As I say, we've got the M Sport brakes, which are a bigger caliper, finished in blue powder coat. There are lots of body kits online that you can buy for these M140s and different diffusers at the back. We've got the sun protection glass on the Shadow Edition. and the rear lights are more smoked. We look at the top of the back bumper. In fact, if we open up the boot, you'll see really nice condition. We've got the Harman Kardon speakers come up into the back here, on this side as well. Got the cargo net in there as well. Let's just close that down again. So this one's also been debadged, which actually does look really nice. Everything's central. We come round, look at the rear wheel on this side. Again, all in lovely condition. And then the front driver's side wheel looks really great with the black gloss wheels actually. I mean, the dark grey ones are okay, but black gloss of this colour really looks good. So let's have a look inside the car. In fact, we're going to go around the other side. I'm going to leave that door open to allow a bit more light in, because it's becoming darker outside as the weather changes. Typical, I've left the lights on, so we're going to have to put up the digging for a second. We've got the Harman Kardon sound system, so extra speakers in the door. We've got the black gloss door handle to match the black gloss inside. And the Oyster is broken up really nice because the door card is mainly black. There's no damage on there or anything. If we look around all the door aperture, all the seals, no marks. I think we'll check out the back first. So all the seating in the back is all in lovely condition. Got the folding headrests as well. So I can just lean in. No damage on the back there either. And the back of the seat. So as you can see, we've got black carpets as well. The seat's all in really nice condition. And then the little bolster button there that blows up the sides of the seats here. The armrest in the centre. The Pro Media iDrive wheel, which you can write on the top of. The ZF gearbox. We've got heated seats. Touchscreen media. Up in front of that, we've got additional speaker up there. There's usually about 16 speakers with the Harman Kardon. So we'll come around the other side to the driver's side. We've also got the puddle lights down low as well. If we look at the seals, again, no scratches along there. And the door card, nothing on there to report. We've got the electric folding mirrors, anti-dazzle, and they'll have auto dip depending which side you leave this button here on. Now, because I've had the car, just going to close the car, lock it, unlock it to rearm it. Let's turn those lights off now. Once the car's been left turned off at the ignition, they sort of shut down after a few minutes. The windows stop working, stuff like that, which is why I had to open the door again. It's because my videos take too long. We like to be thorough though. We'll just check out the back of the seat. All nice in the back there. I noticed that's just a reflection, it's not a tear. It's just the way the light was catching the material. Okay, so We've got extended storage as well, which is the little cubby hole here. Whoops. Auto lights. So let's jump in. Obviously keyless start. So we've got our mode button on the steering wheel here and our voice control. Now the mode button, let's get this in focus. You can bring up your DAB stations using the little roller wheel here, and you press it to enter a station. Okay, let's just go on to something. And then if you go through the mode button, you've got the FM channel, AM, online entertainment, which is a subscription for music, etc. BMW. The music collection's the 80 gig hard drive for all your music you can download, and then we're back to DAB. If you press the phone button below when your phone's connected, it'll bring up the last dial calls. And then let's flick the lights on actually. And then on this side, we've got speed limiter and cruise control. Now for some reason, all of these M140s vary. Some don't have the cruise control that have the speed limiter, but this has got both. So I just want to point that out. The mileage, 20,846. If we use the onboard computer, you'll notice, I think they changed this in 2018, but you've got the oil temperature as well on there as well, which is really handy. As I was saying, this is all touchscreen, the navigation up here, but by using the iDrive buttons, which I prefer to use, because I don't like to get sticky fingers on here, by pressing the button more than one, oh sorry, wrong button, that's the same button, you can get different displays. We can move the map and we can move everything around into whichever order. If we go into map, this is why I use the iDrive. So we're on the view where you're looking straight down. We've got all the sub menus here. It's where you put the destination in. In fact, if we go in there, I'll just show you. So we can either, if we put address input, if you see the symbols there, we've got voice activation or keyboard. So by writing on top of here with your finger, I always find that voice activation doesn't work very well. Well, it does, but you need to know the menu.
O.
So we're in Portsmouth, so
T.
And you'll see that it's shortcutting to the destination on the right, and you can just flip over there and go down. Hence we're in Portsmouth. So if we come out of there, let's go back through the menu. Oh, actually, map. We can also, with these buttons down here, the numbered buttons, we can assign different screens to shortcuts. So if I wanted it on perspective, in fact, I'm going to change that in a second. I'm going to put perspective on number 8, and then, because I know the other one's in north direction, I'm going to put in direction of travel for number 7. So now using these buttons down here as a shortcut, if I hover my finger over them, you can just see. So press number 8 and the view will change. You can put telephone numbers in there, radio stations, and use those for shortcuts. If you go into my vehicle, this is where we've got all the sub-menus down on the right hand side there, of all the options, all the things that you can change on the car. Driver profiles, so each driver, you know, there's more than one of you that use the car. I think this actually stores like the music channels as well, you know, your radio stations as well. Now if we go in here, this is where once you're moving, it will give you the tyre pressures and it will give you tyre temperature, which is really handy if you know that you want to go out for a bit of a drive. You can warm your tyres up before you make any mistakes. So currently the rear brake pads are on 4,100, but this is to go in for a service. So this will all be looked at under the service, and the brake pads will be changed. The oil looks like it's just been done. We'll check that out in a second. the brake fluid is due. So it looks like we're going to do the brake fluid and the rear pads. They will check the front pads. If they need doing as well, they'll be done. So it's just had its first service, but we'll take it to our BMW specialist. Now, the service that we do, all of the parts fitted, we use good quality parts. We don't use cheap Chinese parts. They're all OEM, and we use very good quality oil. It's done by a local BMW specialist. The service will appear in the iDrive here. It will also, he's registered with the BMW servicing, and it will appear on BMW's own database for the servicing. So like I say, this car's only just come in, so that's all going to be done this week. Now if we come down here, we've got the dual climate control, we've got the heated seats, another extra. So basically on the Shadow Edition you get the Harman Kardon sound system with the speakers, as we've mentioned, but the Pro Nav, very desirable extra. The heated seats, another extra. Cruise control, I'm not sure if it's an extra, just doesn't appear on all of them. We've got the folding mirrors, the online entertainment, and then the little tweaks that we've done with the paintwork, etc., and the mirrors. So it's a really nicely spec car. Now the other thing that I hadn't mentioned yet is that this car has the adaptive M Sport suspension. And I can't believe I haven't already told you about it. So basically the adaptive M Sport suspension is probably one of the best, well, not the best feature, but I think a necessity on these. If you enjoy driving, then you definitely want the the adaptive M Sport suspension. Now when we use the drive modes down here, you'll see the display comes up on here. Eco Pro is for economy driving, and you'll notice things like when you take your foot off the throttle, you can the car will, I'll show you, it will coast, so it's almost like it goes into neutral, so it, you know, saves you fuel. Comfort, now in Eco and Comfort, the shock absorbers, which have a sensor and like an electronic valve, they can move the fluid from one side of the shock to the other to make it softer or firmer. So in a Comfort and in Eco Pro, it will soften the ride, and you can definitely feel it through the car. It's a lot softer. Now when you go into Sport or Sport Plus, and you'll see from this display, which they all have this display, if I move this, if you look at the shock absorbers in the picture, they will all do this, but it won't change anything unless it has the adaptive M Sport suspension. And this car, I have spec checked it, I know it's got it, I knew that before I bought it. So the suspension on this is more superior to the normal shock absorbers, which are a little bit on the soft side, I have to say. So the adaptive is a very good option on this car. You can still put lowering springs on the car. I think there might be a limit to how far you can go with that. You don't want them too low. But with the adaptive suspension you can still do that. Okay, let me jump out, show you underneath the bonnet. So the 6-cylinder twin power turbo uses a dual cool turbo, which essentially has 2 input ports into the turbo to allow a much better, smoother run of air through the turbo, because after all, a turbo is there to speed up the airflow. And if you've just got one sort of input, then you've got 6 cylinders, and they're all the exhaust manifold is throwing all that gas in, and it's more turbulent, and it's not as quick as a dual cool turbo, which takes sort of like through 2 ports. From what I understand is it allows the turbo to spin up earlier, it's more efficient, there's less lag, and you get better performance, and in turn you just get better economy as well, apparently. Now they produce a claimed 335 brake horsepower. However, when people have put these on a rolling road at stock level, they've made sort of 350, 351, sometimes a little bit more, 353. With a Celtic retune stage 1, you'll see 431 brake horsepower. The torque figure is really high. I can't remember exactly what it is off the top of my head. But they now do a stage 2, which requires a different catalytic converter or a cat delete. And that will see 455 brake horsepower. Now, you don't really have to do much to get huge power out of these cars, and this 6-cylinder engine coupled with this brilliant gearbox, this 8-speed gearbox, which is limited at 750 newton meters of torque. I mean, they're really big figures. I mean, they're great value for money. I've looked at buying some of the M2 competitions at the moment, but with a good spec level, you're seeing close to 40, 45,000, depends on spec and the mileage and the colour. But huge amount of money, and these just look such great value for money. And of course the new M140i, which I have been in, didn't really like it. Doesn't use the same engine, doesn't use the same gearbox, and that's why these M140s are so desirable. Anyway, hopefully I've captured everything. Running on Michelin Pilot 4s, as we said. Due to go in for a service this week, so it'll all be up to date. If you want to give me a call, I can answer any of your questions. Thank you for taking time to watch the video. Take care, bye.